I've been writing every day for more than 900 days in a row. Here are 9 hard truths that I would tell you if I wasn't afraid of hurting your feelings. Number 1 is that if you want to be a writer, you have to write. I've met so many writers that only write when they're inspired, or when they feel like it, or when they have an entire day, set aside for writing. Do you know what they all have in common? None of them are published, and most of them haven't even finished their first draft. The harsh truth is that you won't make it as a writer if you don't write regularly. Writing on inspirations are for writers who want to have a writing career, writing maybe 1 or 2 books. That's not if you want to make writing your living or if you want to do this long term. So here's what you can do. You can set aside, have a daily goal to write 100 words a day, or to spend at least 2 minutes writing, and try to track your writing and create a writing streak, because this has really helped for me. You can also wake up earlier, or, find the time to read, or not to write. Harsh truth number 2 is that your first book is going to suck. And yes, I said it, and yes, I know that it hurts, but hear me out here. I spent years and years writing a fantasy series that I thought was going to be epic. I had written 2 entire books and edited them so much. But then I put them aside for a few years, working on other projects. And as I became a better writer, I learned more about the craft. I learned more about readers' expectations and stuff like that. When I took it up, picked it up again and started trying to edit it, I realized that it wasn't good enough. I had 2 choices. So either I would publish a book that readers weren't going to like, or I could throw it away and start over. Because honest truth is that it sucks. So I ended up throwing it away. The reason why I did that is harsh truth number 3. And that is that you need to have some sort of, you need to plot, or you need to plan. I had penned my way through the fantasy books that I threw away. And that meant that, in the story, the characters went abroad just for fun, and there were a lot of things happening that wasn't important to the story. And when I outlined the entire series, that is now 5 books and 1 prequel, it became so much better. So this is the project that I call the Forbidden Circle, and the prequel to the Forbidden Circle comes out in English in the spring 2026. And one thing that we do tend to underestimate as writers, especially at the beginning of our writing career, is how much planning and plotting it takes for a story to actually be good. Because you have to know all the plot points. You have to have a good character arc. You have to have suspense. Even if you're writing romance, there should be suspense between the characters. There are also a lot of promises to the premise, like, depending on your genre, there are promises that you need to uphold because the reader expects them, and the reader will want to have them. And we don't want something happening like what is happening to, what's her name, Audra Winters, I think. She had been working on her book for, 10 years, but she's really young, and she doesn't know, as far as I can tell, I haven't looked up to, I don't know the entire story behind this, but, her story wasn't ready. She did not understand she didn't know how to plot and plan and write a great story. She didn't know the craft. And the fact is, it's okay. You don't need to know this when you write your first book. But you do also need to understand that your first manuscript probably will suck. And, we tend to be so in love with our own work, especially in the beginning, that we take it personally when someone doesn't like it, or when someone tries to critique it. When the truth is, that was just a practice run. And here's the thing, there's no way around it. So just keep on writing. And harsh truth number 4 is that you have to give things up if you want to do this long term. If you're someone like me, I have a day job. I have a lot of things to do, which means that I have to be super mindful about my time and prioritize things really carefully. I spend, I think it's 14 to 20 hours a week writing. And that's on top of my day job, which is 40 hours a week. That's on top of working out every day. That's on top of sleeping 8 hours a night. You need to be able to prioritize your time and say no to things that don't give you energy. And yeah, I know this is hard. It's hard for me too, but the more I do it, the more right it feels. And the other thing, I try to give up things that does not bring me closer to my goal and does not give me the energy that I want. I talked a lot about this in the last video. I will link it in the description box, so check it out if you haven't seen it already. But also try to cut out people that don't understand why you want to write. Because those people, they shouldn't be around you, because they will only try to drag you down because you have bigger goals and ambitions than they do. Benjamin Hardy talks a lot about this in his book, Willpower Doesn't Work. We are a product of the people whom we surround ourselves with. So be mindful and do some sort of energy audit to see what gives you momentum and cut out the rest. Number 5 is that reading is training. It's not procrastination. Set aside time to read if you want to be a writer. You can keep a swipe file where you save like great openings and great dialogue, examples of things that you want to learn and you want to look back at when you're sitting writing and you're like, gosh, I don't know how to make this argument more suspenseful. This is when you go back to your swipe file and look at examples that you've already put down. I save highlights and stuff like that digitally in an app called Readwise. I'll link them in the description box as well. This is not sponsored by them. I just really, really like them. And there, you can highlight sentences and then you can categorize them. You can even import them into Notion and you can look at the highlights from different books and stuff like that. So that is a great way for me to do it. Whatever works for you, but try to remember that reading is such an important part of being a writer. And if you say that you don't have time to read, I mean, come on, there's audiobooks, there's ebooks, there's physical books, real books. There's audiobooks, there's ebooks, there's physical books. And you can have time for one or the other. I mean, I listen to audiobooks, I read ebooks, and I read physical books. So make the time to do it because you need to study the craft. You need to get inspired and you need to understand your genre and other genres, because that can also be very insightful if you want to learn how to write more, better romantic scenes. Then read a romance novel. They're so good at creating tension between characters. That's basically what they do, and that is super good to have even if you're writing a crime novel. Number 6 is that editing is not just polishing, it's you rebuilding the story. Line edits, it can't save a broken story. You need to fix the structure first. So try to develop all beats, stakes, and pacing, and then set up scene goals and see what changes. And if you don't know how to do this, read Lisa Cron's book, Story Genius. I love the scene cards there, and I always go back to them when I need to fix a scene and when I don't know if I should keep a scene or not. So when you're editing, you also, I have like a schedule. So I will do one thing at a time. First, I will look at the big picture. Then I will look at the scenes. Then I will look at the lines. And then I will look at the dialogue. Last of all, I will look at grammar and spelling, because that's not important when I'm looking at the big picture. Number 7 is that you should start building an audience before you publish. Marketing, it's not dirty. It's how readers will find you. So start that email list now. Share behind the scenes and what you're working on. Post micro content on social media, preferably social media platform that you know that your readers are already on. And invite them with lead magnets like short stories or anything like that. A lot of writers will procrastinate on working on marketing. So if you start today, you can get ahead and actually get a head start. And another thing that you should do if you actually want to be a successful author is treat your writing like a job. Professionals have schedules. Amateurs, they have wishes. You should put up KPIs. You should think about how much you want to write each session. No, it's each and every week. Track your progress and see how you can improve it over time. Make a schedule, make a plan, and put up a public deadline. Say that, like I'm doing. I'm telling you guys that I'm going to publish The Library of Eternity spring 2026. That is a public deadline that I have, which means that I have to fix it. I have to do it. But treat your writing like a job and don't just write when it's fun. And last but not least, no one is going to save you. No one is going to ship out the book. No one is going to get you an agent. You have to do the work yourself. You have to keep on working, keep on improving, and becoming better. So set a deadline. Book a professional editing slot. Decide on what goals you have and make things happen. Hit publish even if you think you're not ready. Start the next book. Be the writer that you want to be and work as if you're already there. Like me, I want to be a best-selling author who lives off of my writing. That's why I'm working like I'm already there. Because I know that if I am a full-time writer, I need to prioritize my writing and treat it like a job. I know that no one is coming to save me. I know I have to write on days that I don't feel like it. And this is why I write 1 to 2 hours each and every single day. It's something that I've also built up over time. It's not something that happened overnight. So don't think that. I've been writing every day for more than 900 days. That's almost 3 years. And no, it hasn't been easy. I can promise you, it has not been easy. But I've been working, slowly but surely, making sure that I can write more. So I've been practicing and practicing, almost like practicing my stamina to write more. And this has really, really helped. And that's why I can wake up earlier and sit down and write for 2 hours before I start work. And you have to find the ways to fit in writing to your life and your career, but don't make excuses. If this is what you want to do, then do it. And that is the harsh truth that I would tell you if I wasn't afraid of hurting your feelings. I know that a lot of people will think that they don't have time. They do have time. They're lazy, they're chasing cheap thrills. And if that's the way you want to live your life, then do it. But don't complain when you're sitting there, when you're all thinking back on why you spent all that time watching a TV series that you didn't even care about, or whatever it is. I know that you can do it because I've lived through it and I'm doing it right now. And I'm going to continue to write each and every single day. So I would love it if you followed my journey towards becoming a full-time author. Let me know in the comments what your goals are for your writing and how you're going to improve them just a little bit. 1% a day, one small step at a time. That's all I'm asking for. I know you can do it. Talk to you next week. Bye.